So I see this a lot in numbers. People will have separate tables and in fact entire separate sheets for each month of the year when keeping track of things like expenses. And this is handy when you need to produce a monthly report, maybe a PDF or printout for each month. But it's not so great when you need to relate these items across months, like totals for the entire year, or tracking expenses over a few months by item type, that kind of thing. And also if you need to update these tables in some way, you have to go and do it for each month. And if you have 3 or 4 years worth, it takes a long time to do that. A better way to do it is to have a spreadsheet like this where everything is in one long table. And you can keep adding to this, and this can go and be thousands and thousands of rows long after several years. But then the problem is that what happens when you need to produce a monthly report? How can you do that? So you've got here at the top month and year. I want to just do February of 2017, but I see everything from when I started keeping records all the way to the present day. And how do I just get this to show February? Well, you could do filters. So you could go in here, click on the action button for column A, and then filter table and select every item that is in that specific month. That takes a long time to select them all and then deselect them, and it's not the proper way to do it. A better way is to create a new column. So I'm going to create another column here. So add column before B, and in here I'm going to put a formula, and this formula is going to compare two things. So I'm going to do and to compare more than one thing. And the first thing I'm going to compare is the year from this cell, whether it's equal to this number. And I'm going to set it so that it preserves row and column, so it always goes from this specific cell even when I get further down in here. Then the second thing I'm going to compare is whether the month here is equal to this. But month will actually return a number, 1 to 12. And in fact when I type February in here, it interprets that as a date. So this is actually interpreted as February 1st of the current year. So I want to just basically extract the month from that as well. The month from this cell. And I'm going to also preserve row, preserve column. And I'll close out the and statement there. And I will get false because that's in January, not February. If I copy this and then paste it all the way down here, you can see I only get trues for the month of February and falses for everything else. So now I can filter. I can say filter table only on trues. And you can say I only get February. And the great thing about this is if I change this to January, then the trues only are for January, and this changes there automatically. In addition, I can get rid of this column here by hiding it. Now I don't see it anymore. So now it's like magic. I just type March in here and it only shows me March 2017 dates that match over here. Now to get the sum to work here at the bottom, because this sum here this is just a formula. It's the sum of everything in this column, whether it's filtered or not. I want to use someif. So I will do someif, and I will say if column B, even though it's hidden I can still type B, is true, then include column E and the cost. Now I only get the visible ones because this formula is basically looking for true, and the filter that I had on column B is also looking for true. So they're two different things, but they're both looking for true values in that B column that's now hidden. So when I change this to February, it's now only showing me February, and the someif is now only acting on those same ones. So now it works. I can change it for any month, any year I want, and it only shows me those items that are there. If I want to enter in new data, I have to turn filtering off. So I go over to the right here to sort and filter. To filter, I'm going to select the table, and then I just uncheck filters. That means that the filter in column B is not deleted. It's still there. If I hit the trash can, it will delete it and I have to recreate it every time. But it just turns it off, and turning it off means now I can enter in new data. So I can enter in something else for April. And now I can turn filters back on again and change this to April. to see that. So now I have a fully functioning spreadsheet that's one sheet with just this simple little table here at the top to tell me the month and year, and then this big table here which I can just keep growing and I can keep doing all sorts of things. I can add another footer column here, so I could extend this out. Let me turn filters off. Let me extend this to show another footer column there at the bottom. So I'm going to move that up there. This I'm going to do an actual sum of E. So now I've got, that's the monthly total, and this is the complete total. And I can do more work to actually make that maybe the total for the year, that kind of thing. But you get the basic idea for how to actually get a table like this to fit your needs if you need to keep track of something over the period of many months and many years, but you only need to show in a report what goes on during a given month.